A bitch just be talking about me thinking I ain't gonna go look on their page. I be looking at y'all page, and y'all can't talk about me because
A woman is sentenced to life in prison for killing her romantic rival. The victim's family came out in droves to witness the hearing.
NBC6's Marissa Bagg was the only.
The story of Sakiyna Thompson is one of those cases that grabs you immediately, not because it's complicated, but because it's terrifying how fast someone's emotions can turn into something irreversible. Imagine a moment of jealousy so intense, so overwhelming, that it changes the rest of your life forever. That's exactly what happened here. And trust me, once you hear the details, you'll understand why people are still shocked by this case. Before we dive deeper, do me one favor. If you're watching this on Shadow Crime, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon. It really helps the channel grow. And honestly, it keeps stories like this from disappearing into the background. Now, let's talk about Sakiyna. Before her name made headlines, she wasn't someone most people even knew. She lived a pretty normal life in Florida, working, hanging out with friends, and dealing with the ups and downs of her relationship with her ex-boyfriend. But behind that normal life, there were signs of emotional pressure, insecurity, and unresolved feelings connected to that breakup. Friends later said she struggled with letting go, and when she felt rejected, she didn't handle it well. It's important to understand that, because it's what eventually led her to that moment everyone talks about. When the incident happened, the police and the public were stunned. It wasn't some long, drawn-out plan. It was a quick, emotional decision that spiraled completely out of control. And that's where the justice system stepped in.
Very wicked and evil, and a person like her, it's important that they never see the light of day.
That we got the justice that we was looking for, and that she will never be able to do this to another family again.
The investigation moved fast. The evidence pointed directly to her. And before she knew it, Sakiyna was facing a first-degree murder charge. From that point on, everything about her life changed. Her freedom, her future, everything she thought she had time to fix was gone. As the court case progressed, people saw a different side of her. Some described her as cold and unbothered, while others saw a woman who didn't fully understand the magnitude of what she'd done. There were moments in court where she looked confused, almost lost, and other moments where she appeared frustrated, like she didn't agree with how the story was being told. But the strongest reaction came when the jury delivered their verdict. Guilty of first-degree murder. That one word sealed her fate. The judge didn't hesitate. He handed down a life sentence without the possibility of parole. And just like that, Sakiyna's story moved from the outside world to the inside of a prison cell, where she will likely remain for the rest of her life. No release date, no second chance, just a lifetime to think about the decision that cost another woman her life and cost her everything she once had. And now, since many of you have been asking for it, I'm going to play the full court case audio for you right after this first part, so you can hear exactly how everything went down in that courtroom.
Defense, did you guys want to say anything?
No, Your Honor. Ms. Thompson in her PSI did make some comments to the family, so we just asked her to state show the family that.
Well, I'm not going to read them. If she wants to read them, she can read them, but that's 100% up to her. So having said that, anything else we need to do before sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so with that, court read the PSI, read the letters in support of the defendant, heard from every single member of the family wanted to speak to me with regard to Ms. Thompson. With that, with the decedent, Kayla. Having said that, and having watched the trial and having watched the jury's reactions to each individual thing that was placed in evidence, and having watched the witnesses testify as to what they testified to, it's interesting that I note that the defendant was in the beauty business, and the beauty business is what led the police to the defendant to the DNA sample that was found underneath the fingernail of the victim. With that, I also understand I have no discretion whatsoever, nor would I want any discretion whatsoever with regard to this particular case. I do believe the defendant needs to go to prison. I do believe the defendant's In this particular situation, crime was heinous in the way she tracked down, located, showed up, and then killed Ms. Thompson. With that, the court does sentence Ms. Thompson to adjudicate her guilty sentence to life in prison. Under Florida's criminal punishment code, that's without parole. And she will serve the remainder of her life in prison. And anything else?
In order of restitution.
Court order of reserve restitution. The outstanding court costs will be a civil lien. With that, anything further with regard to the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. With that, Ms. Thompson, you have 30 days to appeal the sentence of court. If you cannot afford a lawyer will represent you, and I will make the pre-sentence investigation letters and the information that was presented to me a part of the court proceedings. Thank you very much. And more business is concluded for the day.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
A trial? Who are we going on? Okay. They're gonna, is that on a jury base? On this jury base case? Yes. Huh? Is the victim gonna show up? Oh, maybe. No. I thought they spoke to her. Everybody spoke to her. How are you gonna take her that far tomorrow?
We're gonna order a reporter and take it up in the morning and we'll get her
We'll see.
Judge, can we have one of Bailiff's make copies of those letters if possible, just so I can put them in my file?
We can. I don't know how they're gonna make them, but.
I can have the PSI.
Let me see if Sabrina can. She'll make it. Amy, come on in and so you make copies of these letters here for the defense. Thanks, Bob.
I'm sorry, Judge?
No,
Oh.
Sabrina.
Now that you've heard the courtroom audio, you can really feel the weight of everything that happened. It hits differently when you hear the tone of the lawyers, the witnesses, and even the judge. You can almost feel the air shift when the verdict was announced. And honestly, moments like that remind us how quickly life can change, not just for victims and their families, but for the person sitting at the defense table too. After the sentencing, more details about Sakiyna's life inside the courtroom started to come out. Reporters mentioned that she barely reacted when the judge said, "Life without parole." Some people thought she was trying to stay strong, while others felt she didn't fully grasp reality until she was being taken out of the courtroom in handcuffs. A few officers even said she went quiet, almost frozen, like the weight of the situation had just sunk in for the first time. What makes this case so unsettling is that it wasn't a long history of violence, or years of planning, or a complicated setup. It was a burst of jealousy, a split-second decision, and a life lost because of it. And the justice system doesn't forgive moments like that, no matter how emotional the person might have been. The court saw the facts, looked at the evidence, listened to the testimony, and treated it as what it was, a deliberate act. Since her sentencing, there have been a few small updates. Her legal team talked about filing appeals, but none of them have been successful so far. The court's decision has remained the same. She will serve a life sentence with no chance of parole. And unless something major changes in the future, that's how it will stay. She's now in a state correctional facility where she spends her days under strict supervision, far away from the life she once knew. It's strange to think about how one moment can divide a life into before and after. Before the crime, she was just another woman trying to figure out her relationships and emotions. After the crime, She became the center of a murder trial that shocked her community. Some people feel sorry for her. Others believe she deserves every part of her sentence. But no matter which side someone is on, the truth remains. Consequences don't disappear because emotions are involved. And that brings us to the deeper questions. What drives someone to lose control like that? Is it jealousy? Fear of rejection? The belief that someone else is taking what they think belongs to them? Or is it something deeper, something hidden inside that finally rises to the surface when the wrong emotion hits at the wrong time? These are the things that make cases like this so haunting, because they force us to look at how fragile the line between emotion and action really is. So let me ask you, when you think about this case, do you see it as a tragic mistake or a conscious choice? Do you believe moments of anger should define a person forever? And more importantly, what do you think pushes someone past the point of no return? If you're new here and you want more cases that make you think, react, and question human behavior, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and tap that bell icon so you never miss a story on shadow crime. Stay safe, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next one.